what's coming.
They know. Oh, they know. I think we might just see a Renekton Jax matchup top lane, possibly.
Yeah, and I mean, which is fine, but like I think that is a pretty skill-based matchup in which Jax can outscale heavily.
The drawing is really important in that matchup.
It is. So I think if you are going to play Renekton, like you said, you have to go Renekton Sedge to give you the 2v2 edge to try to keep the Jax down, because I don't like the way that it's been looking, you know, from the energy side for how good Licorice has been. So
Rakan.
Okay, well now you still could just go. You could just go Sedge here and then go Renekton on 3, right? Because they're not. I don't think Golden Guardian's going to take Renekton.
I think if you pick the Rakan, you got to pick the Xayah as well.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think the Xayah without Rakan is better than the Rakan without this. Rakan kind of needs Xayah or Kaisa these days, it feels like. So I feel like at this point, NRG is just committing to the Rakan Azir, what they didn't do last game. And then it's probably going to be Xayah on 3, I think, no matter what. So if Golden Guardians pick Jax here and NRG doesn't respond with top laner,
then Dhokla's gonna play tank
even more,
but he's just gonna play tank at that point. Then he's playing like Ornn or Sion or Cassante, or like he's playing something like that.
He's an Ornn enjoyer.
He's an Ornn enjoyer for sure, but the Ornn it's a very all-in on the tank versus Jax kind of thing where you lose really hard side lane.
Yep.
At least Cassante can somewhat farm in that matchup.
No, I mean, I agree. I think Cassante obviously has more agency in the lane. It's just kind of what I'm expecting. If you don't pick it on 3, like if you're going Xayah like you think, then you probably ban Cassante, you probably ban some other thing like that. And then he's just playing take your dealer's choice of tanks.
Poppy has been one of those champions that's seen a couple bans so far in this series. Very good against both Rakan and Azir, shutting down the dashes. So
is Taliyah.
There. Yeah, and Gori not shy
Jax,
at all about locking in this
Taliyah, Poppy, anti-fun champs for dash enjoyers.
Yep.
I wonder, do you think this is top Poppy for Licorice?
Oh, man.
He is one of the few people that actually do play top lane.
Yeah.
It's like real flex pick for Golden Guardians, but I think that given this series, how it's going so far, he's going to go for a carry if he can.
But now Jax gets banned 100%.
Yeah, it has to be. I think.
And then you could ban Jax, Gwen, but if they ban Renekton and you play tank, then he could play Fiora. So like, I feel like you almost can't keep Licorice off of a carry from this point.
Yeah, I feel like Golden Guardians could have just picked the Jax, and then NRG has to choose between counter picking top, well, counter picking Jax for something that loses lane, but you get what I'm saying, or picking the
Zig-5,
or picking the Xayah, and then it would make the top side really hard for NRG. But now they just kind of get to just match the lanes here, and it's very simple for them to draft this. Not playing the Jax yet. They do have last picks, so maybe they think that they can pick something like Sejuani on 4 and then pick Renekton themselves, or maybe Jax themselves. I mean,
Licorice would have blinded Jax for sure. I don't think Dhokla was going to play the Jax. I mean, he played one game of it this split.
Some people do think Renekton can win against Jax in the early game at least, so maybe they think they have too much lane power. Sejuani is banned that way.
Yep, that's a smart ban, because they could take it on 4 and go Renekton on 5, right? Like, I don't think Golden Guardians would take Renekton.
I agree.
But now it's just finding out if NRG are actually worried about Jax or not, because that's the big question, right? Like, do you ban Jax here or not? Because I think if not,
they could ban them.
There you go.
I will say they could ban Nautilus as well, because when you play Kaisa against Rakan, it can be hard if you don't have one of the premier in-game supports like Rel and Nautilus.
Now I feel like they should ban Renekton personally, and then just play something like Gwen or whatever. But
Maokai. Okay. Not what I would have expected, but some people do like it into the Poppy. Probably gonna see some sort of. Actually, Contractz could go a lot of different ways here, but almost all the tanks are banned, besides Trundle, I guess, which he was hovering earlier. The Viego feels like
there's not a lot of upfront burst.
They're playing really into what Golden Guardians have this game. You know, they're playing full go in, besides the Azir, of course, versus the Taliyah and the Poppy. So there's gonna be a lot of value in the Taliyah E and the Poppy W this game.
And now we just have to find out, is Licorice just playing a Cassante game here, or does he actually have confidence to just kind of basically blind pick a carry? Because most of like the blind pickable carries that you would want are already taken away. So it's Poppy top.
Yep, Poppy top, Jarvan in the jungle.
I mean, why not? It worked last game. You can just do it again.
But I guess then the problem with this is potentially then now you're playing against Gwen or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a really not a fun matchup. Sure, you can interrupt Gwen's E, but honestly, who cares?
Yeah.
Like that sort of matchup is really, really hard. And Huhi bringing out the Amumu, so
he is a known Amumu enjoyer.
He is.
Even when no one else was playing it, he was always having that in his pocket as a secondary engaged type of support.
I really like Amumu against this kind of comp. I mean, I just feel like it's like Viego, Rakan go in, and then all of a sudden you're just getting Amumu ulted, you're locked down, and I feel like that is really hard to kind of play against.
People think Amumu's an engage support. It's actually more of a counter engage, exactly. Oh, the Gangplank. I like this pick a lot from Dokes. He played earlier, I think, this split as well, the Gangplank, if I'm not mistaken.
He had one game on it, and it was a really good game.
Yeah, I think they did win that game. I remember him doing pretty well, at least later in the game.
Let me look it up. Yeah, 7-2-7. It was actually versus Golden Guardians, and they won against Golden Guardians with that.
Okay.
And what was the top lane matchup? This one was Jax versus GP.
The only thing is, NRG doesn't have a lot of setup for this Viego. So he's gonna have to play very, very slow in these fights. He can't really go in. There's no one to follow him up. Rakan can't engage against these champs. Poppy.
I feel like Viego's actually useless in this game.
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but I think so too.
Like, I don't see how. I'm just trying to think about how you play the fight.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like strafing back and forth. There's gonna be Taliyah rocks down. There's gonna be Poppy W available. You're gonna get Moon ulted if you go in.
Yeah, the saving grace is that Poppy's the top laner, so you won't see him for most of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, River was popping off in the last game. Honestly, the reason why Golden Guardians were able to turn it back around after it started going real south real fast.
But we do have to see, because through all the games, Licorice has been able to create pretty big advantages. He's been a big factor in the games as well. And so, yes, River is going to be on a signature champ. That is great. But if Licorice gets blasted in this matchup, if Dhokla actually gets a way in, that can be a big X factor, because this is one of those matchups that, especially if it goes bad early, it kind of just stays bad for us again.
In both the Rumble games, he was a big point of pressure for them to get the first Herald, lane swapping, get some plates on Stixxay, get him accelerated. So we'll see how they do without having his lane pressure.
He was also the follow-up, right? Like, you think about the River Jarvan ults, it was the equalizer over top that makes it so frightening. River can go backline in this game, but there's not really great dive alongside him, so it feels more like one of those games where you have to ult in and then EQ out, and just like you're kind of just like the CC bot.
I like what we got to see from level 1 here for Golden Guardians, sending the 3-man squad up into the top lane brushes to be prepared to battle Gangplank over barrel control, but Dhokla was expecting that, just waiting in the tri-brush instead, as River was the one sent bottom to make sure the Energy wasn't planning anything tricky in those brushes too, but Licorice with an immediate nice trade there.
Huhi also gave him a ward here in level 1. That is Huhi's ward in that bush right there, helping Licorice, of course. The GPs do like to put their barrels in the bushes and use that to their advantage, so nice understanding of the matchup here. Small things like that. Happens a lot with the Quinn at the top as well. Range matchups, you put a ward in the bush for top level 1, has a little bit easier time in laning phase, so.
Because so much of these matchups is your trading pattern is you come out, you poke, you step into the brush to reset the aggro, right? And you just do it over and over and over. So that brush getting warded actually makes a tremendous amount of difference.
Of course, with GP, it's not about the mid-aggro, it's more about the barrels, but the concept is the exact same. Of course, Poppy isn't actually a bad laner against GP. It's just that GP gets to farm for free for the most part, and then he gets more gold. He's hacking the game. He just gets more gold per minion.
And once you do hit a certain point, I mean, especially if GP gets ahead, it can be very difficult. Like in the early levels, the barrel cooldowns are so long and whatnot, but like once you're on an item or two, the barrel CD is almost nothing. And anytime you're trying to step up to get NA LCS, there's just a barrel in the minion wave, right? And then you're starting to get free poke. The true damage passive can be annoying, so.
If something goes wrong, it's definitely a big problem. Then he starts getting Sheen first base, and then suddenly he's just up 5 gold on you. And now he has like 4 items, full crit chance, and he's gonna one-shot someone.
And no one can play side against him either.
Yeah, that's true. This game, they don't have much silent presence. They do have Stixxay, who can shadow behind his side laners.
And you have collapse and stuff from Gori, so there's some answers, but definitely Contractz spending a lot of time here.
Maybe a counter gang expecting River to be here, but this is the River full play I'm talking about, where him not doing anything is making other people afraid of him.
Well, and that's the power of having variance in how you play, especially as a jungler, right? Like, it's actually, as much as sometimes people talk about, like level 2 or bringing ganks and these types of things, it's smart to mix it in occasionally, because then your opponents have to give respect that you could be doing it in every single game, right? So having those mix-up every once in a while, it's something that I think in the past Santorin was always really good at as well. Even he would have these random games where he'd be playing Trundle or whatever and level 2 gank or something, and people are like, what the hell?
I've seen some things from Blabber Rek'Sai. Blabber Rek'Sai ganking bot level 2 with QW. Like because once it happens once,
that's cursed,
you're scarred forever. You will never forget it.
Dhokla.
Oh, nicely played.
Little barrel chain there on the Licorice, who can get himself away.
He's winning hard here in the HP department. He has both his pot and his cookie still.
Licorice actually played that so well, though. Like, getting the Q on him to actually get the slow, and then he ease away to the minion before he could get the Trial by Fire passive auto. Because in these kind of matchups, it's so much about being able to deny that Trial by Fire, because that's where a lot of the damage comes from. And if you can actually just see that up and then make him use it on minion first, the trades get really good, because you can just do this kind of buckler harass with Grasp.
It's gonna be hard for Dhokla here to crash this wave and get a
He
good
can't
recall
crash that,
off.
I think, without
he
help.
might have to take the L here in his base.
Contractz is going to come top. I think Contractz is going to help him push it out.
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to be the case.
Licorice is actually a bit low here.
This is getting
His potion
spicy.
earlier. He's playing very aggressively without vision.
Dhokla does not have a lot of mana here still to work with. Steadfast presence coming out from Licorice.
I think he's fine.
Contractz still on the approach here, drops the ward into the brush. Oh, Spectral Maw, swing and a miss. Licorice stays alive.
If he has damage, kill him anyways. But nonetheless, gets his GP in a nice base here, I think, after pushing the wave together.
It would be close, right? Because if he gets stunned there, maybe
Yeah.
Dhokla flashes in after as well.
Hit him with a
stuff.
double tap and then
Yeah.
flash Q him again and not double tap.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, they got the GP, the base they wanted, and that's pretty much all they need here.
And he's got Sheen. He's got Sheen refillable. And now they can stop this at least with the flag. I don't think he goes for it, but that is
So
definitely annoying.
Sheen purchase for the Gangplank, feeling good. Most Gangplanks like to move towards the Essence Reaver since it just turns your Q into an infinite mana battery. It costs 45, it restores like 70. Seems pretty good.
Just too convenient.
Yeah, really, really good stuff there. So that's probably what we're expecting to see him build towards. Meanwhile, down here in bottom lane, pretty much dead even farm between NRG and Golden Guardians with the 80 carries. It's once again a Stixxay Kaisa game. FBI got to play his 2 Kaisa games earlier. Now Stixxay is getting his 2 Kaisa games. If we go to game 5, I wonder if we'll see the champion at all or if somebody will finally ban it.
And it is interesting because, you know, he could have potentially gone for AP in this game,
true.
but
Like-
he's lethal tempo. So he's going to be going the AD build again.
I think with Jarvan and Poppy, Poppy actually deals a lot of damage that people don't
Yeah.
expect. And it's all physical damage as well, so you could actually have gone for the EP build. I think it would be
Especially
better
'cause
this
there's
game.
no tank.
Yeah, no tanks. No one's gonna buy any like actual MR.
Yeah.
They're gonna buy Maw and stuff, but it's not that bad. It's still not tanks.
Maw shield is like a quarter of 1W.
Basically, yeah.
A lot of
Good trades
damage
here.
coming out there from Energy. Yeah, Ignar and FBI jumping, going aggro after Stixxay and Huhi, who have to retreat all the way back behind the turret to try to find their recall. Dhokla still just farming up underneath the turret here as there's a massive CS lead for Licorice compared to Dhokla. More than 2 waves. That is going to be alleviated somewhat as he picks up a lot of the minions that are crashing into the turret now. But honestly, this early laning phase is going perfectly fine for Licorice.
Oh, this is actually really interesting. They wanted to go for the dive, but Gori moved down out of mid lane, and you could see there was like all-in pings above that banana brush above red.
Yeah.
So I think they were worried that Gori was going to come down, and that actually made them call off the dive on bot side.
Sometimes we have a term called kill the king, where you just kill the AD carry no matter what, and then whatever happens afterwards, it's worth it. Of course, not worth it.
Enemy team gets a pentakill.
Ooh, well, right now, FBI's the one who's got to try to back away a little bit, but Stixxay's under pressure now because of the Gangplank ulti. Stixxay and Huhi both surviving with under 100 HP as River and Contractz are in a 1v1 back in the jungle. Meanwhile, topside, Licorice now finding another advantage over Dhokla. Steadfast presence looking for a little bit more heat. Keeper's verdict of minion, that probably wasn't intentional. Okay, the fight still continues here in bottom. Ignar having to dash back to the safety of his
Gori's
jungler
here.
as Gori's coming down. I feel like the seismic shove might get it done, but Contractz immediately just turns it right back around. Gori's gonna trade it a 1-for-1. Contractz seeing for the flash bandage toss. Gori's still got the flash to try to get away. Contractz not gonna chase him back over that wall. Even trade here on the bottom side.
I mean, Huhi going in against a different champion might have been good there to kind of set up the kill, but not against Viego, where you give him your body. And that ulti on top side, I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was one of those situations where, like, he wanted to go for a tap, like a tap knockup, but then held it too long and then realized he wasn't going to get the kill on GP, so he ulted backwards.
Maybe he wanted to ult the wave so that he could dive the GP with his own wave?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
Because I don't think he had enough damage with the ult to actually kill the GP. So I don't know if that was like...
This is one of those situations where we overanalyze the play so hard and ask him, Licorice, what happened here? I just misclicked.
Wrong spot. All right, it looked a little goofy, a little unlucky there, but hey, still a perfectly good lane state for Licorice. 60 to
Really
47 in farm, working on the components there for the Sunfire Cape. Makes it very easy for Poppy to win these trades. As you can see, Huhi was so low, Energy really wanted to force something.
Yeah, and it's just a trade of flashes here, and then they realize, okay, maybe we can go back. Nice little sidestep there from Ignar to avoid the initial bandage toss. And then I think Huhi knows this is a one-way trip, but he's trying to set up his team to get those 2 kills. But that just to me feels like you're just respecting the fact that Viego gets the reset.
There is one thing though. Viego before 6 can't... Oh, hang on.
Never mind, we got to play. Huhi and Gori both getting caught as Contractz shows up to secure the kill. That's a 2-1 lead now for Energy. Oh, is it going to be more? Hold on.
Pulse champ.
Nope, not quite. All right.
Dhokla here, really low. Has to TP back to lane. I was saying earlier that Viego, before level 6, can actually change out of forms. So maybe Huhi thought if he dies and the Amumu, Viego becomes Amumu, he isn't that useful as Amumu at level 4 in a fight like that.
Yeah.
So maybe he thought his team could win the 2v2 afterwards. Wasn't the case, of course, but maybe.
Yeah. Again, Licorice doing really well in this 1v1. He's been playing it aggressively, as I think you have to in these matchups. But we can watch what happened mid lane here. Huhi was just here trying to help him push out the wave. And Contractz and Ignar have matched the roam, and it's just going to be a turnaround.
Palafox engages on Azir have been really nice throughout this series today.
Palafox has been nice in general.
Yeah. NA mids, man.
Nice guy. Nice one.
Do you know that his real name is actually Palafox, too?
Yeah. You know, someone told me that. I didn't believe them.
I didn't believe it either at first. I was like, no way, you're trolling. But it is.
I have to check it up on Wikipedia. But it is true.
As soon as Flowers found that out, he looks over at me and he goes, "Is your real name Azael?"
Come on, man, I didn't know. Like, at that point, it's hard to know what to believe, all right?
It's like everything he's ever known. He's got to re-examine the world.
Reality comes shattering down around you when you realize Palafox's real name is Palafox, all right?
Cool name, but
yeah, he's doing all right here in the mid lane in this game. Honestly, very small gold lead for NRG as a whole, but the game stayed very close between these two teams now at 10 minutes in on the clock. If we take a look at how many plates have been taken, it's one mid, one bottom. NRG knocking those away from the Golden Guardians. Licorice is about to secure his first up here in the top lane, picking that one up. Honestly, the top lane diff has been pretty noticeable here in this series in terms of the impact that Licorice has been able to have winning these lanes early on. As the Drake is down to 2,000 HP. Ignar going in with the quickness, but he won't be able to find Stixxay just yet. FBI coming around from the side. He's got the Xayah ulti ready to go. The feathers fly and he lands back down. River, Stixxay, Huhi all trying to get away as Palafox goes in for the kill and River's going to be found. Contractz takes off Gori off to the side, and it means that Licorice and Huhi and Stixxay all gotta go the hell home. Drake secured by NRG.
disaster. Licorice TPs as the only person of top laners and doesn't get anything, and lose the fight and the dragon. And now look at Dhokla. He's going to get 3 plates here, at least 1 or 2. Free push, 3 waves.
And they actually even stopped the
The
recall.
dream to have a GP is just pressing R on your teammates fight and then just pushing and just watching the top laner.
Oh, Ignar thought he was gonna... Oh, nice! Oh, and he gets back away too. Licorice thought he might have the kill there. Wait, he still has the flash. Does he really want to chase this all the way?
Oh, he's so mad.
Yeah, he
really wants something.
He is turbo mad. Okay, Ignar gets away. That was a little dicey there. The steadfast presence to stop the escape over the wall. But let's take a look at how the fight actually went.
Yeah, I mean, Gori, the idea is clearly that Gori's just going to ult and zone them out and be able to kind of hold them off to the side while they win on the other end. But FBI came in, created a lot of pressure here, it felt like.
He dodged the Amumu ult with the first one. He didn't actually have the cleanse available, but he dodged it with the ulti.
He dodged that with the ulti, and then Contractz with the timing on the Spectral Maw to punch Gori off of his surfboard and make him be stuck in that isolated 1v1. That right there is some, that's some coach camaraderie behind the scenes.
Licorice's entire advantage is now gone. He had TP advantage, he had CS lead, he had a plate, and then now he has...
He was up like 20 CS.
Yeah, and now he has nothing. I'm sure he's down in gold too.
Yep,
to
for
the
sure.
GP.
He's down about 200 gold. Not a massive advantage.
Not bad, yeah, but he was
like,
up a few seconds ago, had TP advantage, everything, and then lost 2 plates.
Yep. I mean, it's basically a 2-kill swing. Like, he was up a good 200, 300 gold, and now he's down a couple hundred. So
Mentioned the breathing room the GP gets. Just now you can't play the game anymore. I mean, you can play, but GP is making the lane PvE now. He's gonna kill the wave in front of you, and you can't do anything about it at this point, right? So
yeah, there's no more bullying to be had at all. And Viego got 3 kills, which is kind of concerning as well. It's definitely looking a bit rough for Golden Guardians.
The Viego is the thing I got my eyes on. Back in draft, you guys were talking about how it can be hard to play this champion into something like Taliyah, like Amumu. When you jump in, it just makes it hard to play the fights the way you want to pilot them. But when you have a big lead, when you're that far ahead, you sort of just go in and somebody dies. You're getting the reset.
I was kind of hoping that Golden Guardians would go into like a poke range comp with the Taliyah and the Poppy for disengage, and then using Kaisa as poke. And Viego would have to, like, full send it. But this way, Golden Guardians playing with the Amumu and the AD Kaisa and Poppy, top lane, they have to actually go into the Viego. So there will be someone dying no matter what.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be AP Kaisa for sure.
Yeah.
I do think it's going to be, again, a difficult game. It's like AD Kaisa always feels hard to me into things like Xayah and Azir, right? There's just, you can't just full send it with an R on top of him because he can respond with the ulti. Azir outranges your auto attack so heavily with the soldiers. You have to play around feathers. You're going to be getting your GP ult dropped on your head and whatnot, so it does feel difficult.
The difference in power spike is also massive. Like, normally Kaisa gets stack shift in lane phase, and then lane phase ends, and then you're just farming for free. Now you're on 20 CS, you don't have your Q evolve yet, you don't have any evolves at all until you get 2 longswords at least, I believe it is, with the Kraken Slayer. So the power spike is very delayed compared to how strong stack shift Kaisa is when you actually buy it.
Dhokla gonna get tackled here by Licorice. Doesn't want to use the flash until the Cataclysm comes down. Throws the ulti on his own head. Flashing away now. Cataclysm still comes after him, but they drop the wall in time. Licorice would have needed one more tower shot to die, so Dhokla won't get anything. And Golden Guardians pick up a kill.
Nice play on the side lane. They need to relieve some pressure there. And River hadn't been able to get too involved in this game thus far, but on the other side, they're just going to start a peril.
I think he did kill the wave before he died, if I'm not mistaken. But looks like River's getting the bot tower right now.
Man, top 4 gold earners in the game are still all wearing energy colors. Not a great feeling for the side of Golden Guardians, who are still down about 1,000 gold overall here. 14 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. Contractz going to pick up this Rift Herald here for the side of Energy. The top lane tier 1 turret's not even going to need that to be knocked down, it looks like. FBI only needs a couple more auto attacks, and that one is gone. As now Gori's in some trouble. Palafox with a nice shuffle into immediate reposition flash over the wall so he doesn't get jumped over, but he doesn't have enough damage to grab the kill, so Ignar's going to be killed instead. Licorice can just exit stage left. It was a play from Energy and an outplay from Golden Guardians.
Really nice, but Licorice to actually come to this fight. River kind of took over his lane after that gank in the bottom lane, so he moves up here. And Licorice, you know.
They'll be in some trouble though. Contractz jumping in with a Spectral Maw Heartbreaker. Licorice, I don't think he gets away from these. Contractz makes it a 1-for-1 trade in the extended play.
Looking pretty good for Energy, honestly, at this point. Now 2.2k gold lead. They got Herald. They still have, excuse me, no, they're just coming in now. So they're going to get the tier 2 top as well. So creating a pretty massive advantage. And again, I just don't think you have a good answer for GP in the side lane, so I think that's why Licorice is grouping so much. You know, he's trying to make plays happen, they're trying to make some action happen, but it's looking tough.
Huhi ended up walking through the Sun Disc. Took about 40% health there from a couple of those summoned turret shots. Energy bringing over their own bottom lane to reinforce here. As
Licorice is looking for Dhokla bot.
And Contractz were both completely undeterred by this. Dhokla gonna get tackled underneath the turret, so he can't really do a whole lot of fighting back just yet. Finds the speed up there from the barrel. Yeah, no flash on either one of these top laners. Licorice using the steadfast presence to stay hastened up, as a TP is gonna come in now from Energy, looking to punish this aggro from Licorice. Dhokla eating the oranges at the very last second, but Licorice still might be able to find the kill here. Second part of the Q ain't gonna get it. Minion autos in the air, but the potion keeps the Energy top laner alive. The soldiers jump in, but the Conquering Sands aren't enough. Now it's Palafox who may die for Dhokla's sins. He's stuck in a 1v4. He uses the shuffle, but it won't be enough. Stixxay takes the kill. It's the 4th one of the game for the Golden Guardians.
And I've got to say, Licorice is just like feeling like he's making so much happen for this team, right? You know, they're in such a bad spot. He makes a proactive play happen that results in Dhokla getting pushed back and a kill on Palafox and a dragon for them. And it's because he can still win that 1v1 against Dhokla.
Yeah, it was either a solo kill onto Dhokla or Palafox TPs. Of course, he overchased a little bit. He could just walk away, right? But they felt like they had to do something with that TP. Ignar.
Now another catch.
Yeah, Ignar was not where he needed to be.
Licorice is on fire, man. He is just trying his hardest to win this series. But still, even with that, they're down a significant amount of gold, and I think it's a tough game. Dhokla was greeding a little bit for this turret, and so Licorice goes for the TP and Tribrush, just kind of assuming that they wouldn't be watching that area to spot the TP. He doesn't see it. That's why he didn't TP defensive on the turret. Would have had the solo kill for sure, but Palafox arrives, and he's just barely able to kind of outplay this situation. That was, what, like 40 health or something that he survived with?
Both top laners barely walked away.
Oh my god, he got the buckler off the barrel. I was wondering where he got the buckler at the end there.
Oh, he's good.
Very good awareness there of the situation, and then Palafox was just left in a spot where there was no way home.
That's kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that was really good.
He's the main character right now.
Yeah, he is.
That's for sure.
3,500 assists, career long in the LCS for Huhi.
Not too shabby.
Not too bad at all.
I have no idea how many I have. Can we get some information on that?
Yeah.
Some data guy in the background, please. If anyone can hear me, please.
If I receive any updates in my ear throughout the rest of the game, we'll have to. I'll make sure I let you know.
Do you want us to let you know
one.
if you have less?
I think I have more kills than Huhi.
More kills, I would agree. Yeah.
I hope so at least. I would expect. I mean, you are both role swaps.
That is true.
I feel like, how long has he been in support for though? What, like he's been in support for like 3 years?
Yeah, 2020 I think was his first year. So I might be behind in both categories. That would be a bad look for me. If I'm lower than him in both, don't join, please.
Yeah. All right. Only if the information is good enough do we want to hear.
You don't want to have any bad narratives.
I want to know if it makes me look good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of how everybody's looking here, let's take a look at the gold. It's still plus 500 for Dhokla, even though his interactions with Licorice wouldn't lead you to believe so in the jungle. Plus 1,000 lead for Contractz up over that Jarvan. Mid lane plus 700 for NRG. Bottom lane, very, very close. The closest of all of these so far as Licorice goes for the disengage, and now it's Contractz and Ignar who are in some danger. GP ulti over the top isn't going to guarantee anything traded back. Tier 1 turret might have survived, but Golden Guardians make the play and find a pick.
Yeah, but they're going to lose their bot lane tower. They were pushing out top as well. It's just the one kill, so really it's not actually good for them, right? They're losing more gold, but they don't feel that they can play through sides, and I kind of agree with them. So they're forced in a situation where they've got to find plays, but it's going to be tough to do.
Only argument you can make is that the bot tower was very low HP anyway, so it's like free gold at that point to the energy. So making a play like this, you know, kills are forever kind of thing. You can always get more kills, but you can't always get more towers. So standing gold or something like that.
So I got the info. You have 2,302 assists. He's got 3,500.
Dude, really about 2/3 of him, man.
I'm down like 1,200 assists.
Yeah, that's a lot.
No, tell Berserker to start getting some more kills.
Yeah, really.
What's going on with that?
He's an alley-oop here.
He's the greediest man alive.
All right.
He says he loves money.
Contractz and Ignar going in for the play. They've got the kill, and it's River down. Now Contractz going to need to reset. Flashes back away. He recognized the steadfast presence, was not going to let him escape with any sort of a dash.
They go
so
Baron.
He has to commit the summoner spell.
No jungle.
Enemy jungler's gone. Baron is up. It spawned 20 seconds ago, but we got to look at the resources spent. There's no quickness. There's no GP ulti. There's no Viego ulti. Energy are still going to commit for this objective. Golden Guardians want to come in and stop them. Keep your eyes on Licorice and your eyes on Huhi. Those are the guys who have the engage mechanism. Gori still looking for an angle to maybe ride the wall. The Baron is secured by Contractz and Energy. Golden Guardians can't do anything but stand by.
It's looking like Energy have such a commanding lead in this game. If they play it out well from here, it is their series. This is match point here. This would be them grabbing their world spot and moving on to that bracket finals.
I'm pretty sure they outskill as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think the AD Kaisa scales anywhere near as well as Xayah does. Azir and Gangplank are obviously monsters in the late game, so Golden Guardians must be feeling a lot of pressure right now in this game here.
The Viego also casually 5-0-0. Two fully completed items with the Trinity Force, the Black Cleaver. This guy is scary. If he can ever get on top of really any target that's not named Licorice, he just shreds them.
I mean, we doubted the doubted Viego in this game, but if you get ahead early game, anything can work.
Yeah.
And he did.
Gonna have to start putting some more faith in Contractz, I guess, man.
My bad.
Energy with a 4,500 gold lead. The Drakes are even only at 1-1, but the next one is spawning here in about 20 seconds. Licorice is on a secret mission right now, hiding out in the crud brush.
He doesn't have TP, so this is him. This is his TP flank.
Okay, he's gonna keep the position, but
Poppy ult from the bush could be the Poppy emote.
They have to go for it, man. I feel like this is maybe the best angle you're gonna find.
This is the hero play. Poppy ult from the fog of war.
Poppy wants the keeper's verdict. But it only hits a minion. But Dhokla's gonna be bursted down here on the front line. The feathers fly. FBI pulls him back, and now they're gonna find the reset. The first kill there with the Huhi as River jumps back after the energy AD carry, but it ain't gonna work. He only builds his own grave. Licorice and Stixxay fall back to the tier 3 turret, but it's still a 2-for-1 plus a tier 2 turret for energy.
And it could be even more with this Baron. They're pushing in here. Contractz is just going aggressive on a Gori. Gori's in trouble.
Spectral Maw into more of those stabs from the Ruined King. Gori forced all the way back. He's got to go back to the fountain and heal. Licorice and Stixxay will try to defend this, but it's still a 4v2 until Gori can heal back up. There's no Weaver's Wall to make a dramatic entrance into the fight either, so the inhibitor now eliminated NRG with a 6,000 gold lead.
Honestly, still think that was the best angle for Licorice to go for. I think he has to try something like that. If the keeper actually hits someone, that could have been like a 4v5. Huhi's engage is massive, but one kill onto Dhokla isn't going to be good enough in this kind of fight.
Yeah, it's so tough. And I mean, because FBI had all those cooldowns, you need a lot. Like you say, you need to have ejected a couple members out to be able to actually win that fight afterwards. But they're just going to keep going.
Oh, Licorice wanted to find the wall bang there, but FBI fast enough on the flash to get away. Golden Guardians still thinking about fighting this. Ignar's over the wall. Rakan's got the flash and the quickness both ready to go. Barrel's being put down by Dhokla here to try to have that zone of control as Huhi's bandage toss ends up following Ignar over the wall with the blast cone. River's still ready to to try to contest here for the Drake. Remember, it's only 1 Drake to 1. There's no immediate pressure on this objective for either one of the teams. River with the combo over the wall to position himself inside the pit. NRG still thinking about do they want to go in yet. They need FBI's ult. They want Gangplank's ult. Keeper's verdict, knocking the enemy mid laner away. Palafox ain't here. Stolen away by Contractz on the Viego. Ignar coming back, trying to help out his back line as FBI is shut down. And Stixxay's the one doing it. Licorice is taken low, but he won't be killed just yet. NRG trying to find the damage, but they just can't do it quite yet. Stixxay firing some of those long-range Void Seekers. Palafox has the DPS, and Contractz is still alive. Beautiful conquering Sands to once again knock Taliyah off the wall. Palafox keeps charging forward. The Sands shift, and NRG's looking to bury Golden Guardians beneath them. The shutdown back to Palafox as Contractz fires off the Void Seeker with a stolen Kaisa body. He throws down the Herald Path. The Spectral Maw finds the stun. A stab to the back's not quite enough. River's still alive for now. The Contractz just needs another stun. There it is. The ace for NRG.
Look at the base. Palafox is going off in this fight. Stixxay had a great start to the fight. Got to the back line, killed off FBI, kills off Dhokla. But Palafox and Contractz run him over. The base is in shambles. You know, they're actually just, I think they lost a Nexus turret as well. Yeah, they did lose a Nexus turret. They lose the tier 2 mid. It is now nearly an 8,000 gold lead here. And insult to injury, Contractz even steals the dragon.
Yeah, this fight looks like the best thing possible for them to get, and they still lost it at the end there.
I mean, Amumu had a great ulti again.
If they can't win this fight, what fight can they win at this point, especially after all these kills from the Palafox and the Contractz?
Yeah, it is so hard.
Doing so much damage here, so much work. The chase down is great as well.
I mean, FBI had no cooldowns, right? And they got in the back line, and they're able to kill him off right off the bat. They kill off Dhokla, and NRG has to know this game is almost entirely theirs now. It's definitely, you know, theirs to lose. It's in their hands. They have a GA now, even on Contractz, and Contractz on 3 items. He's at the point where when you're playing Viego from this far ahead, there's 1 item on Gori. There's 2 items on Stixxay. You can basically just run straight out of carry like a madman and keep them out of the fight and trade out your GA while your carries just destroy the rest of the team.
The only bad part about playing Viego in this game state is that when you possess one of the enemy's dead dudes, you become significantly weaker because they don't have any items. They don't have any gold.
First world problems here for Contractz.
Unfortunately for Contractz, there's nothing valuable to steal from the enemy team.
It's just an R reset.
Yeah, unlucky, but NRG feeling great about the way this game's playing out here. 26 minutes in, 7,500 gold ahead. They're taking away everything in the enemy jungle. Less than 45 seconds until the Baron spawns. They will dare Golden Guardians to try to stop them.
I mean, he's just hoping that there's some sort of angle that he can find, right? Like,
we need a big flank here.
Everything is going to look silly when you're this far down.
I've been here, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, where you just have to, whatever it takes.
Yep, exactly. And I think that Golden Guardians, all they can do is keep fighting. So you just keep looking for it. That is the only way to have a small chance to win. If you play slow and you just allow them to take everything.
He's got the 3-man engage, but now he's got to get back. The route down onto River, who buys time with a stopwatch as Licorice is running around trying to distract him, but River's going to die to Contractz if he ain't careful. Palafox hits 2 with the Emperor's Divide. Gori and Licorice trying to retreat as Huhi once again re-engages, but Licorice and Huhi are both about to drop. Finally, a kill comes in for the Golden Guardians, but it's only an FBI. A double kill back over to Stixxay. He's trying to fight it out, but Contractz is hot on his trail. Stixxay is kiting this out. Stixxay, tooth and nail, fights to keep the Golden Guardians alive.
Oh my god, that fight was crazy. Gori flips him over the wall. That's a 1K shutdown if they can get it, but they're not going to be able to. Stixxay played that fight insane. He was so aggressive in the backline. That's the only thing they can do. He gets in the backline, he kills off FBI, he kites out Contractz. Man, what a fight from Stixxay. The initial
so
engage.
doomed for Golden Guardians in this fight. Stixxay cleans up so well.
At this point,
it's good, but no follow-up at all.
Exactly. I mean, they can't really because it felt like Palafox was playing in between them to the side. So at this point, I'm thinking this is game over. They're about to get aced. And then Stixxay just goes crazy here.
FBI in the back line, and then he flashes the Poppy E perfectly in a couple seconds here as he kills Ignar.
Yeah. I mean, that is just beautiful stuff.
And then he kites it. This is actually what Kaisa is good at as AD Kaisa. You have the move speed on the PD, I believe.
Yep.
Ghost as well, probably, so...
I mean, that was so well played. He had the E evolve there.
If Gori wasn't so useless here, he made it gonna kill.
But yeah, I mean, he's on 1 item, right? He doesn't do any damage.
Back to live. NRG starting up the Baron. They've already got it down to about 1,000. It's secured by Contractz, but now what about the fight? Licorice with a slam into the wall on Palafox. Seismic shove to follow it up, but NRG's mid laner is still safe for now. Huhi, massive multi-man ulti, as Palafox is going to die to Stixxay. Dhokla kills River with a counter-attack, and Contractz and FBI have found the enemy AD carry. NRG with a 2-for-1 so far, but they ain't done yet. Contractz going forward with a Spectral Maw. He might have been hit by the Seismic shove, but it will not matter. A double kill to the Viego, a 3-for-1 for NRG, and they're looking for the throat.
Yeah, they're going to look to end the game here. Stixxay's dead, Gori's dead. They have the wave through bot. They have the Baron buff. I think this is it.
Huhi and Licorice without enough damage to pose any significant threat to these guys. Licorice getting stunned up, having to flash away from the grand entrance. FBI and Dhokla here to supplement the damage. 8 seconds on River. NRG have the wave. They have 4 men alive with the Baron buff locked and loaded. Huhi goes in on FBI trying to stop him, but NRG have their eyes set on the Nexus. They will earn themselves a 3-1 victory. They will earn themselves a trip to New Jersey, and they will earn themselves a spot at Worlds.
What a series from NRG coming into it. Everyone doubting them, but they step up when it matters most here in a monster final game here from Contractz. 12-0-4 on the Viego.
Honestly, it was all